You never asked for any of this. You were just walking home in the rain when a plain brown envelope slipped from a passing motorcycle and landed at your feet. Inside were printed documents and a cheap USB stick. You almost threw it away. Instead, you plugged it in. What you saw changed everything. Names, dates, bank transfers, photos of bodies, a sprawling criminal syndicate moving drugs, guns and girls through the city, and at the very top of the chain was the police chief himself, smiling in every group picture. You realized you had just picked up a death sentence. Within 48 hours, both sides knew you had it. The syndicate sent 2 men with knives. The chief sent unmarked cars with sirens off. You were now hunted by the very people who were supposed to protect you. Most men would run. You didn't. You used the only weapon you had, your mouth. You walked straight into the syndicate's backroom poker game and laid the USB on the table. I can be useful. I can feed you everything the cops are planning. They laughed at first, until you proved it by warning them about a raid that hadn't even been written down yet. Within a week, you were the syndicate's most trusted informant. Then you did the same thing with the chief. You sat across from him in his private office, looked him in the eye and said, "I know what's on that USB, and I know how to make it disappear forever." He stared at you for a long time, then smiled the coldest smile you had ever seen. Suddenly you were his most trusted informant too. You became the man in the middle, the double shadow. You sat at their tables, drank their whiskey, took their money. You told each side exactly what the other wanted to hear. You grew rich. You grew arrogant. You started enjoying the power. The envelopes got thicker. The lies got easier. You stopped feeling sick when you saw the bodies. You started ordering them yourself. Then one rainy night, you were in an abandoned warehouse, just watching as the syndicate unloaded a new shipment of terrified girls. A small girl, maybe 12 years old, looked straight at you through the bars of a cage. She didn't cry. She just whispered, "You look like my dad. Before he sold me." Something inside you cracked wide open. That same night, you met her again, the woman who had slipped you the envelope weeks earlier. She wasn't just some random courier, she was the chief's own daughter. She had been trying to destroy her father from the inside and, well, had chosen you as the perfect fool. She said, "I needed someone weak enough to break, but strong enough to survive long enough to do what I can't." You finally understood. You weren't the hero. You were just the bridge. You made your choice. You copied everything, encrypted it, and sent it to every major news outlet in the country. Then you walked into the chief's office and told him exactly what you had done. He didn't even look surprised. He simply nodded and pressed a hidden button under his desk. The last thing you felt was the cold barrel of a gun against the back of your head. They called it a random street robbery. The city mourned the loss of a good citizen, but the woman who had woken your conscience, the chief's daughter, was already sitting in the chair you once occupied. She had taken your place as the new double shadow. She smiled the same cold smile her father once gave you. In the end, you didn't destroy the machine. You only became another gear that was quietly replaced.